right, Mr. Ryan Pace, thanks for hopping on.
Thanks for having me.
I love it. Now, I want you to please introduce yourself to everybody who doesn't know about you and what you're building. It's absolutely insane, and I know you've been at it for years, but I don't want to butcher it, so take it away.
Yeah. So my name's Ryan. I've been building a SocialFi product the last few years, and essentially our thought process was there isn't any crypto exchange with real network effects taking place. So we wanted to be the first to build this. So essentially, it's just if you if you're going on Coinbase and you join and then a million users join after you, your experience doesn't get better. So if you look at a lot of these kind of Web 2 companies that have scaled to tens of millions of users, their real edge is in network effects, where like as the product grows, your experience gets better and better and better. So we noticed that hasn't been happening and has never happened in the exchange space. So we looked at building a crypto exchange that we can focus on building network effects for it to grow on its own, scale on its own, and provide a better experience every 1,000 or 10,000 users that join.
I love it. And you say we. How'd you get started in all this? Did you just wake up one day in college or say, I'm
Yeah.
going to build this? What's your backstory?
So, yeah, how far do I want to go back? So I got into crypto my freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And it was more of like a family friend saying to buy Ethereum when it was $50, and then it went up, and I thought I was a genius because I turned $50 into $100, right? And I'm like, why isn't everyone doing this? It was one of those, and then that happening made me obsessed with understanding how crypto works. So for like 2 years, I really dove into the fundamental side of it and thought it was really revolutionary. And then my senior year of high school, I committed to play soccer at UCSB. So I've been playing soccer since I was 4 or 5. And knew I even when I committed, I knew I wasn't going to finish college, but at the time I thought I was going to go. And then my senior year of high school, I got introduced to the technical side of trading, like more getting in and out within whatever hours or days or weeks, um, and became wildly obsessed. And this was during COVID, so we didn't have to go to school, and I was just studying charts and trading 16 hours a day. And I realized I was thinking about my schedule of I was thinking like what my schedule would be in college. I'd wake up, play soccer, go to school, go to class, and do the same thing, or I could go rent out an office somewhere, live out of an office, shower in the local gym, and just trade 16 hours a day. And I'm like, it doesn't even compare. That's what I want to do. So 2 weeks before I was supposed to show up for camp, like in the summer before school starts for soccer, the day I turned 18, I signed a 1 year lease to live out of an office in Santa Monica, and it was just an air mattress and a desk, like tiny, tiny. And I drove there, called my parents from the office, and said, hey, or sent them a video actually, and I said, hey, I'm not going to go to college. This is where I'm going to live, and I'm just going to trade crypto. And they were obviously super upset. And then I did that for 7, 8 months, and then had the idea for Involio while I was doing that, and have been working on Involio the last 2.5 years.
That's so
Yeah,
sick, dude. That's
yeah,
so sick. It's cool you
yeah,
take the risk. Like you didn't care what your parents thought. You didn't care whatever. You just,
yeah,
as a common trait I've noticed amongst a lot of entrepreneurs, is they send it, and you've
yeah,
sent it. And when did we meet? But like, I know you were building it when we
yeah.
met,
We
but
met. Yeah, we met like just after we were launching like a early version into test flight. Yeah,
okay, got it. Because I
yeah,
think I still have the username Tyler or Smurs or something.
yeah.
I was like, let's go.
Yeah, yeah, you were really early. You were in our first probably 5,000 or even 1,000 users.
That's
Yeah,
so cool, man.
yeah,
So
yeah.
these days, how do you? I mean, I don't know if you do a lot of research or watch anybody about like the app mafia or like these people who are just creating apps out of thin air now.
Mhm.
How much harder is it to build something sustainable like you are for years, versus these guys who might just hop on AI or vibe code an app up in a few hours? Like, is it AI helping you out in that aspect because it's helping refine your process to make it better, or is it just like now allowing a bunch of new 20-year-old kids just coming in and creating their own stuff that can compete? Like, where does that sit in everything?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. So a lot of our devs now use AI. So what it does is it makes like really good devs just be able to move that much faster. For on the technical side of what we're doing, it's pretty complex. So it's not like something you can vibe code. Um, I would say the way if I were building a new product or I was doing this from scratch in today's space with I would probably build V1 myself with AI and then bring in a bunch of developers because as you're trying to scale a product to 5, 10 million users, that's just not something at this point AI can handle. Just through all the different edge cases from security to scaling the user base to figuring out bugs. If you're super technical, you could do it, but not being technical, you can get that first version out. So you can get the first probably 5 or 10 iteration cycles done. So instead of like going to a dev and saying, it should look like this, and then he'll bring it back and it looks a little different. And then finally you have something decent that they can build on. You doing yourself will allow that to be so much faster. And then you can go to a dev and be like, here's the exact experience that I'm wanting to build. Help me kind of scale this, get the systems ready and architected correctly. Where at scale we can start bringing in other developers and it's not kind of like a mesh code base. Because one of the things that's hard with the way AI code bases are built right now, it's really hard to add other developers into it and then scale that team with that first version. It can be done, but you're going to want to probably fix those issues and get it ready earlier than like hitting a million or even 100,000 users and then trying to do it at the same time.
Got it. Okay. And when
Yeah.
you're a young kid, I mean, how old are you now?
23.
23. Awesome. Okay. So, and when did you hire your first dev?
So we raised, this is probably, yeah, 2.5, 3 years ago, we raised 600K and we hired our first dev pretty much weeks after.
So, how does
Yeah.
a 20-year-old kid have the balls to raise $600,000? You know, look a grown man in
Yeah.
the eye. I'm gonna take your
Yeah.
money, hire these devs. Like, how does that even happen?
Yeah. So I met a wealthy crypto guy at the time. And this is kind of a funny story. So I was just turning 20. So I was actually 19 when I raised the capital. And I didn't know anything. I had no idea. I mean, really stupid. I had no idea how to put together a team, what to focus on in building the product, how to speed up iteration cycles. Like, I didn't know anything. I had read a ton of books before. I was reading like 1 to 3 books a week for probably 6 months. And it was helpful in like understanding understanding how to communicate with VCs, understanding what to look for. But I realized doing that, like a lot of it, you have to kind of learn by doing. So I had raised that. I went to somebody and said, super wealthy crypto guy, crypto's at a peak. So they're more likely just to make investments and look for whatever grand slams and willing to throw a bunch of checks to see what works. But I went to him, I raised 600K, hired our first employee, and for the first like this is kind of a funny story. For the first like 6 to 8 months of building, I DM'd this guy on Instagram, and every month he would say not interested, not interested, not interested. And after like month 8 or 9, he's finally like, I'll get on a call with you. I get on a call with him. The next day I fly to New York. I hang out with him for a few days, and then he flies back to Arizona. And we lived together for like 3 months. And Forbes gave him best networker on the planet. He founded a $4 billion cryptocurrency when he was 23. Um, like just this wildly successful guy, right? And and he comes and he goes, "You have no idea how to put together a product. You have no idea how to hire a team. You need to remove your co-founder. You need to fix your cap table." Like it was everything. And he doesn't. He's on this. Yeah, he's on the spectrum. He doesn't eat really. He doesn't really sleep, and he just takes an Adderall in the morning and drinks a thing of coffee. So it was just like for 2 months we lived together, and in the 2 months I was in the hospital for like 2 3 days because they're like your liver's gonna fail from not eating, taking an Adderall every morning, and working like 20 hours a day. So, but it was with him where he had me on calls on a weekly basis with the founder of Netflix, founder of Android, founder of YouTube, and the founder of FanDuel, being like, here's how you put together a team, here's how you set up a product, here's how you do all these things. And it was from that point, like those first 8 9 months was just a mess. Like the product we were building, like was really shit. Nothing was really going great. And then after we kind of had that entire switch up, our team became way more lean. We started having much stronger iteration cycles, and then from there, within like a year and a half, our user base went from 10,000 to we're now at went from 10,000 to 100,000, and then it's doubled again in the last like 7-8 months to 250,000 users. And now we're launching our exchange with all those from pretty much all the things that those guys taught me. Now going into this launch. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So how did you get rid of your co-founder? Was it did you buy him out? Was it an equity deal, or did it get ugly? Or we don't have to go too far into it,
Yeah,
but
it didn't get too ugly. This is actually a good lesson for everybody. So when you're building tech, a lot of people will tell you like, okay, get somebody from Microsoft or get one of these like big players because they've been in the space. And I was talking to a few VCs that are really prominent, and they were like, at one point I was trying to hire one of the VP of Nike Labs for engineering. And they're like, why would you want him right now? I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like the VP of Nike Labs. He's like, people that come from this corporate background move so much slower. They don't have that ability to move fast, iterate really quick. They're in the corporate space. It's just so much more like, let's review everything, let's do this, and it doesn't move as fast. So my co-founder was a family friend, and he worked at Microsoft and Oracle, and he was a smart guy and a really good guy, but it just didn't work for what I was trying to do. So I ended up getting the co-founder I'm working with now. He's 26. He's been in crypto for 10 years. And he adds so much leverage to what we're doing with his expertise and his background. So yeah, it wasn't too messy. It actually went pretty smooth, but it's just one of those things where like, just because someone has a bunch of experience and is from a large corporate company doesn't is honestly sometimes a net negative in an early stage startup.
got it. How do
Yeah.
you even have the confidence? Like you said, you raised it at 19. How do you have the
Yeah.
confidence now? You're still young. You're 23. How do you
Yeah.
have the confidence now to continue to scale this company? Obviously, you have a co-founder, which is nice. You have people on your team. You have people to go to talk to about it. But do you ever wake up some days and look back and say, "Wow, like we've come a long way," and then you just kick it into gear again?
Yeah. I've come. Yeah. I don't know if I think we've. I think we've come a long way. I think it's been like. Yeah, like almost like how did we survive this far? Like it's been such a shit show. I think a lot of it's just handling pressure. Like there was such a long period of time where we didn't have almost any money. Like there was like 14, 15 months where we had like 1 or 2 months of runway. Like, and it's just like every month, if we don't get the next month, we're done. So to me, I think it's just the ability to handle the pressure. Because it's kind of like Sam Altman will say this, where he's like, most companies don't fail because like the product's bad, or the team isn't smart enough, or the market's not large enough. It's because the founder quits. Like I think if you look at most companies, there's so many cases where like they should have quit so many times. Like the Airbnb story is a good one for this, where like Brian Chesky to to start to launch Airbnb, he sold a cereal box called like Obama O's during Obama's presidency, and then like made like 40K, and then launched and no one used it, and then relaunched, no one used it, and everyone's like, no one's gonna have people in your house. Like I think it's one of those things where it's like you have to have a headspace of I'll do it till I die, and you have to be able to iterate so quick. Like as long as you're able to iterate and you won't quit, the product in the end will work. Like the product that we were building 2.5 years ago is a completely different product than now. Like completely different. We had a product where users could talk about what shoes they were investing in. Like it was any investment you can make. Shoes, cards, Forex, stocks, like it's everything. And now we're just a product where you can share your crypto trades and you can join those trades with one swipe. And the user that shares the trade, they get paid for sharing it. And the user that follows it, obviously, they can follow someone that's taken 600 trades and been right 90% of the time. So it's just been like, to me, it's how quick can you iterate, and can you not die?
What do you
Um,
what do you
yeah.
think's what do you think's the toughest part of growing the business? Do you think it's making the product as good as possible for getting people to want to use it? Or do you think it's marketing the actual product to get users on the front end? Like, do you think it's more the front end or back end is the toughest part?
That's a great question. I feel like that's the best question any business should be thinking about. And I think we look at it in a unique way. Our entire strategy is we build our, which this is different than what most exchanges do, or yeah, exchanges do in general, is we build our product for distribution. So every feature we build increases distribution. So like, for example, if we're partnering with a lot of the like large social influencers, because you can come onto the app, find the top performing traders around the world, and literally just anytime they post a trade, you click mimic and you're in the same trade as them. And you can easily see their track. Like we have users with over 1,000 trades and a 90% win rate. So now it's just throughout the day, you get notified, you click mimic, and you're in the same trade. We're building that so people, like let's say streamers, they could be on stream, and you know how like gambling streamers is becoming like such a big thing. People can be on stream, and you can have a streamer with 100K in their account, and they could join someone's trade with 40x leverage, and follow that same trade while all their audience can join the same trade too. So now it's like they can gamble, and that guy that shared that trade's right 90% of the time. So now it just becomes this crazy interactive experience with everybody watching that streamer, plus the streamer taking trades, plus instead of at a casino where your odds are like 45%, your odds are now 90. So it's not something that exchanges has focused up is like content distribution. So to me, distribution is more important than product. But if your product can't pretty much handle those users and generate revenue from those users coming in, it'll die. So for us, is we just build a product for distribution, whereas these users come in, it grows on its own, and it's so much easier to sell. Like if Coinbase tried to go to 1,000 YouTubers and say that aren't in the crypto space and say make a video about us, it would just be like, here's how you can buy crypto, and their audience is going to be like, I don't even care. Where for us, it's like we can go to 1,000 YouTubers and say, like we had a YouTuber go to London, and he lived on the streets homeless, and he started with $800, and he mimic traded his way to a date with a girl, to a skydiving, to staying in an ice hotel. So it's just like you create a product for content, and then if the product's strong and sticky, then you could scale to a 10, 20, $50 billion company. But you have to go after a market that's large enough, and then have the distribution edge and the user experience edge to keep them on.
Dude, that was a gem. Create for distribution is a gem, because a lot of people don't.
Yeah. No.
Let me ask you this though. Why not get like I think it'd be sick. I don't trade crypto. I trade more. I'll do stocks here and there if I like a stock.
Yeah.
Is part of the game plan to stay niche forever, or just in the beginning, or would you ever open that up to maybe a stock trades as well?
Yeah, that's a good point. So you have to look at network effects. So if you look at, we'll use, who would be a good example? We'll use Wikipedia. No, we'll do Wikipedia. So, and I'll do comparables for this too. So if you look at Wikipedia, there's an easy side and a hard side to every network. The hard side of Wikipedia's network is how do I get 0.01% of Wikipedia's audience to write the content to then have the other 99% view it. Tinder's hard side. How do I get attractive girls on the platform? Because if I can get attractive girls, I can have all these guys come to the platform. eBay. How do I get people to post their products? Because if I can get people to post the products, I can have people view. So exchanges right now, there's no network. There's no network effects. It's come on and you trade. For us, it's how do you get, for us, the hard side of the network is how do you get the top performing traders around the world to share their trades publicly? And if you can do that, you will have the largest exchange in the world, because everybody will come to view and take their trades. And you have to set up an incentive structure. So for them, they get paid for every trade they shared, a percent of our fees. So if you take my trade, I'll get 10 to 20% of the fees generated from doing that. So like if 10,000 people followed my trade with $1,000 and used 10x leverage, I would make $1,000 every time those 10,000 people took my trade. So now I could take 5 trades a day and make $5,000 a day. So now we have all these top performing traders coming to the platform, and by doing that, you'll have millions of people come to view it. So yeah, I think for us, in most companies that scale, you have to understand who is the hard side of your network and how do you build for them? Because if you build for them, you could have millions of people come to view that or act on that or whatever it is.
So if people like 100%, but if I'm, you don't think that would still work on the stock side of things? If I were to like TJR day
Yeah,
trading, right? He's doing what he's sharing his picks on YouTube. People can pay him 10 grand for his course.
yeah,
What if I just want to follow him, buy his day trade picks on
yeah.
the New York Stock Exchange? Is
So
that,
so the
you
point,
think it would work?
yes. So the point with that is the network is so much stronger when it's just one asset, and then you can
Ooh,
scale into others. So like
okay.
at first, like eBay at first was just dolls. Like they just owned the doll market. It was everyone doing dolls. And
Amazon was
you'll see this,
close.
yeah, you'll see this pattern happen a lot. Where so for us, it's like this is the best story. Google Plus. So Facebook launched. Google Plus was like, all right, we're gonna compete with Facebook. And Facebook had really strong network effects. It was all people that knew each other. You come to the platform and you already have 10 friends and you're already interacting and it's a really strong experience. Google Plus launches and under the search bar it says join Google Plus, and it was the copycat of Facebook. 100 million users join in like 5 years, and it completely dies because the network was so weak. You would come on and think about how random the person is that goes to google.com. There's like no connection. It's anyone around the world, and there's no connection you have to anyone else on the platform. So now it just becomes noise. So for us, it's like if we just focus on crypto, the network effects are so strong where it's like everybody that cares about crypto, everybody that wants to talk about crypto. And then we can scale that so much quicker to 1 to 5 to 10 million users. The only reason you would go to other things is if the market was so small. Like if it was like trading coin, whatever it was, like something super tiny, then maybe you'd have to. But for us, crypto's already large enough where we can go to 10 million users in 2 to 3 years. And then once you start to see growth stall, then it's like, okay, now we're going to add stocks. And then you unlock that other asset class. But you have to be aware of like negative network effects. Like it's some people like, oh my gosh, you're growing your platform. But like some platforms, they get worse as more people join. Like it just becomes noise. So you have to be really careful with as you're growing a platform that the experience continues to get better and not worse as the user base grows.
That makes a lot of sense. You serve everyone,
Yeah.
you serve no one. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's that. Yeah, it's so. You've heard of School, right?
Yeah.
So I have an online golf community, Outlaw Golf Club, with like
Yeah.
2,500 members in there.
Yeah. I love your videos. I've seen them.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. And it's if you're not in there active, engaging, like it's people just sign on and they'll never log in again,
Yeah.
right? Or it's like you're not answering questions, you're not posting daily. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just about golf. If it was about
Yeah.
anything, that'd make it
Yeah.
10 times worse. But
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. There in having a niche where people can connect with each other. It's like, oh, because
Yeah.
crypto community, I bet is just a
Yeah.
cult, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
that's the example for you. Like for your golf community, you like if you wanted to, let's say, scale that to a few 100,000 users, you then look at what's the hard side and what's the easy side. Like what's the 1 or 2% of my audience that if I can get them on here, 1 million people will come just to view that. It's similar to like Instagram or these platforms. Like you get the big people on and then everyone comes and then the network grows and then it's just like these positive things that happening week over week.
do you think it's different when it comes to a community versus like an app or a SaaS, or do you think it's the same principles?
Mm, it depends on the SaaS. Yeah, it depends. That's when I'd have to spend more time. I for it dep Yeah, it would depend. Like, yeah, I'd have to spend more time thinking about that because, to be honest, all my thought is in the exact thing we're trying to build. Um, but yeah, I would have to think on SaaS or community how you would leverage that.
Makes total
Yeah.
sense. Who do you look up to? Like what's your drive? Do you look at Elon? Do you look at Zuck? Do you look at these guys, or do you just stay in your own lane and they don't you don't take inspiration?
Mm, yeah, I take inspiration from a lot of these guys. I mean, I think anybody that's scaling any company to 50, 100 billion, a trillion, I think you can take a lot of how they look at scaling their companies. Um, I don't know if there's anyone in particular. I mean, I've spent a lot of time listening to how Elon handles operations and thinking in first principles, which I think is which has been really useful. Um, but yeah, I don't think I would say anyone in particular besides just trying to grab as much information from a lot of the people that have scaled companies.
Got it. When
Yeah.
it comes to you personally, depending on how deep you want to get, what do you think is your greatest weakness and strength? And not necessarily just in business, but overall life.
Yeah. Um, strength is I would say definitely it's like it's funny. Like I would say the strength is pain tolerance. I don't think I deal with pain better than other people. Like let's just say if there's like a scale, right? Like someone can like let's say something happens and out of 100 the pain scale for me is 60 and then for somebody else it's 40. Like I don't think necessarily like I can handle pain better than other people. I just think I can take it longer. Like I could take the 100 pain and do that all day long. Um, so I think for me, it's just it's a like pain tolerance. I think mine is really high. Um, and then for weakness, I would say I would probably say my weakness is sometimes letting emotions on a positive or negative side sway my decisions too much.
Normal.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I like how you think
Yeah.
before you answer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
have you seen that podcast with Elon and Lex? And
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, right? That one question. It's like, what's out? What's one question you want to ask? And it's what's out? What's outside the simulation?
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
looking around, just reminds me of it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's funny.
Very cool. Yeah. What about the overall space as far as building apps, AI? How that's now, 3 years ago, it was there, but it's definitely come
Mhm.
on more to the scenes since you were 19.
Yeah.
Um, how has that changed your overall strategy? Do you still believe like an app is like building this is still the best vehicle to be in long term? And are you creating or changing or adjusting using AI to help get there, or are you like you
Yeah.
said taking a totally different route because of it?
Yeah, I mean, the big way we're using AI is just leveraging it for speed. I mean, you can just move so much faster on a development process,
Yeah,
and solving problems in general. I mean, I'll probably talk to AI minimum an hour a day solving
yeah,
problems. Um, yeah, like you can like what I would recommend is you can create your own OS and chat for free and just upload every document in your business from your legal paperwork to like your pitch deck, every single thing, so it knows everything, and then just use that to ask questions. Because then it's not like you have to re-explain yourself, and every day you're using it, it understands more. So I've been using that. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's kind of interesting what jobs will replace AI. Networks are hard for AI to like to take over. Like if you look at like let's just say Uber for example, like that network is so strong of you have millions of drivers and consumers at any given time looking to connect with each other. So it's hard for AI to take over network network effects based businesses unless obviously just a better product comes along. Um, so I think the space we're in building an exchange is correct. I just think the game of iteration is now just so much more important with AI. Like the a team of two or three, like let's say you have a team of 20 versus a team of three. A team of three that really knows how to use AI versus a team of 20 that doesn't can iterate just as fast as them. So I would just say you have to have those iteration cycles so much faster now. And I think the competition is going to get stronger because those iteration cycles for other groups that don't have to have 5 million raised can do the same thing or 10 million or whatever it is.
yeah. It's like Sam Altman said, there's going to be a first $1 billion one person
Yeah.
company.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there again, there's just going to be more competition, I think. So it's just, again, I think it's just an entirely It's entirely a game of speed.
Got it.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what do you think drives you the most? You know, is it the mission? Is it the and not like what people say like, oh, everyone wants to help people, but like actually, what actually drives you the most? Like, is it the mission? Is it the app? Is it the network? Is it the money? Is it the you like the funness, the game of it? What is it most for you?
Mm, probably just proving people wrong. Yeah, there's so many investors and people that have said this isn't going to work or hate this. Mark Cuban said, "I hate this idea. So many have failed. I would never touch this." So like stuff like that. Like
Wait, Mark Cuban?
yeah,
You
yeah. I
actually
have an
talked to him
email.
about or
I have an email. He reviewed our pitch deck, and I have an email back from him saying, "I would never touch this. So many other companies have failed trying to do this." Yeah, I'll have to pull up exactly what he said, but that's pretty much what
dude,
he said. Yeah, so a lot of
hang that on the
yeah,
wall. You already know that,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. It's probably. I mean, I don't know if that's like. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, I'm sure there's like different types of. Like, I feel like as a CEO, you go from like a wartime CEO to a peacetime CEO. It's like you almost have to act like you're in a full out war at the beginning, right? To get to the point where you're owning the market. And then once you own the market, you kind of have to transition to a peacetime CEO where it's like, okay, how do we now manage this and grow this? Like the things we're going to do at a million users are not the strategy we're going to do at 10 or 20. So I feel like for me, like as we start to scale, that'll be really difficult to transition from because it's so much like I'm I'm going to prove everybody wrong and we're going to go balls to the wall until we do it. Um,
Sick. I,
yeah,
I I
yeah,
think extrinsic motivation like that is the best to have in the beginning because it'll just light a
yeah,
fire under your ass
yeah,
and you'll prove other people wrong.
yeah,
Long term, like let's say you were 50 years old,
yeah,
let's say 30 or 40, right?
yeah,
A lot sooner. You've done that. You've proven everybody wrong.
yeah,
And what's that intrinsic motivation for you? Once that wears off and you've proven them wrong, is it still that extrinsic? Is it like I'm going to become
yeah,
more, or or is there an intrinsic side that takes over?
yeah. I think you would 100% have this change. Like, yeah, once you scale it and do it, which I don't think is like, um, I don't think it's like a good source long term. You know what I mean? I think it's good at the beginning to get you through like the really hard times.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I don't know what it'll turn into once that happens. Um, yeah, hopefully it turns into something good. hopefully it's
So
something better.
so have you ever considered or thought about documenting your journey as a founder or as a more of a personal brand? Maybe you don't want to be famous, maybe you don't want your face
Yeah,
plastered. I get it, but
yeah,
has that ever, I mean, if Zuck did that every day while building Instagram or Facebook, it'd be pretty cool. So has that ever occurred to
yeah.
you, not only for yourself or for your kids to look back on, but maybe just to inspire other people and then it naturally drives traffic as well?
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's definitely a good idea. Um, Looking back, it's definitely something me and my co-founder have been like, we wish we should have done, like we would have done. It's really tough right now. Um, yeah, it's really tough right now doing it just because of the amount of time that's going into operations. We'll probably set something up. The next month or so that pushes out. Like we haven't like for our 250,000 users, we haven't spent a dollar on marketing. It's all been through word of mouth because we didn't have that flywheel created yet. Like it was like users coming over, they're seeing the social platform where people are posting trades, and then it's like, well, what do I do? I have to now then go to another exchange, learn how to use it, get the information, and take it. Now that we're actually having an exchange where we can generate revenue, and that flywheel is in full effect, we're gonna, like we've had the only thing that's happened is we've had one YouTube video get made on us organically and then word of mouth, and we'll have over 1,000 YouTubers creating content, um, just mimicking trades all within like the first month or two of launch. So yeah, like we just have a unique like a unique lever that we don't like. We can pull, like, my co-founder's been in the social space for a while, so he's connected to all the biggest YouTubers in the space, and some of them are investors in our platform. So they could all post on their stories like, I have the biggest opportunity in finance. If you're a content creator, like, this is the best rev share deal you could possibly have. Like, we had one user make a video on us. They had a rev share deal with another exchange, and there was 700 users that signed up for that rev share deal on that other exchange to come to our platform, take trade, like, view the trades, and to take them on that other platform. And those 700 people made 100 grand, or he made 100 grand from those 700 people coming over. And we're going to offer a rev share 4 times that with an easier onboarding experience. So we're just trying to build the best lever for content creators to create content and get a rev share from everyone that's coming over from viewing their content, where if they brought over 100,000 people, they should make $1 million a month. So we're setting it up for them like that, again, which then makes everyone want to create content on us. So we're like, yeah, we could make a personal brand, but our efforts right now would probably make more sense onboarding these 1,000 YouTubers and all these clippers to then just create the content. If we were at the beginning, I think we would have done it. But at this stage now, we just have such a large lever to pull that it might not make as big of a difference.
It's still content, period, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's a bit wider scale, 1,000 people. Of course, you packs more punch than some people, but it's still 1,000 people.
Totally.
Dude, I love that idea. Are you familiar with WAP clipping?
Like, yeah. So
is it similar to that?
Yeah. So we're talking to WAP and a few of the groups that run some of the larger clipping campaigns. Yeah. And hopefully in like 8 months from now, we'll see. We'll come back to this video. We're gonna hopefully have the largest clipping campaign on WAP. We'll be able to pay creators more than any platform. We'll have an 80% rev share deal. So just like, if you got 10,000 people to come on with your link, you'll probably make $1 million that year. So wow. Yeah, it's just an offer that they haven't seen. Like, again, think about how much, like, exchanges, they'll pay $120 a user to get them to come over. Now imagine if you could make a video about an exchange that would be like viral content that could hit 1 million users, and you could just bring over 100,000 people. Like, that's where, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And I have full faith. I still think, Sam Altman, or not Sam Altman, Sam Ovens School, right? Do you know how they do the weekly, whatever, school news?
No.
Okay. Every week, instead of the Hermosi thing, they do school news.
Yeah.
I still think, and I don't think this would take a lot of time at all. I'm talking 30 minutes a week. 30 minutes a week, maybe 15 minutes of you talking, and 15 minutes of editing. Just one YouTube video a week, 30 minutes of you and maybe your co-founder or whoever just talking about this week's update, where we're at building it. I think that will help supplement all the clippers to want to join in, not only because they're getting paid awesome, but because they're actually connecting with the founder of the company.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Well, we do that. Sorry, I thought you meant like posting daily. We've done a few videos of like, here's like we do a weekly call almost every week with our users. So like, we have we'll have a Discord, and every week we'll get on with our users. We have some of those videos. We should probably post them to YouTube. But we get on with our users every week, and then we'll do like updates just on like how to use the app. But yeah, we're gonna create more professional content around every week's update once we go out, because we're shipping pretty quick right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's sick. How do you hold on to retention, as far as like, let's say me, I downloaded the app. I'm not obviously a huge crypto guy. I'd love to get more into it, learn more about it, but I downloaded it, got my username, and I haven't been on it much. Yeah. So how do you get those people to continuously keep using the app? And when they say 80%, rev share deal or whatever, how does, like, it's free to download, right? So that's off any trades they make. Like, how does that all work?
Yeah. So our retention right now is like average or below average. But the users that do use it, they're on it like 10 to 40 hours a week. Like, they really use it. So what's happening right now is kind of going back to what we were talking about, is we figured out how to get the hard side on. Like, we have unbelievable traders. They are growing their track record. They know we're about to launch an exchange, so they know that they're going to be able to start generating fees. Like we have some users that notify 60,000 people every time they take a trade. So the moment this exchange goes live, and again, 10,000 people with $1,000 on one 10x leverage trade, they make $1,000. So they're going to be able to start making a ton of money. So we figured out how to attract the talent by giving them an easy way to post their trades, and the ability to monetize that data, get money behind their trades. There's all these incentives for them to post their trades. What we don't have right now is the easy side. Again, someone like yourself, if you come on, you're kind of like, oh, this is a cool crypto community, but there's really not much I can do. Once we launch our exchange, you'll be able to add money to the app via Apple Pay, debit card, or wire, or send crypto. And within 1 minute of coming on, you can find there's literally just a feed of new trades from the top 1% on the app, and you can click mimic and join someone. Like we have users right now that have done over 6,000%. So we have one user that's done over 100,000%. So it's like you could 1,000x your money following this guy for, or if you would have followed this guy for like 6 months. So once you see that feed and you click mimic and you swipe, now you're in the same trade as them. So once you have money on there and you just follow, like even if I texted you, I'm like, hey, here's my track record, start joining my trades. If you would have done that first time you downloaded it and you put $50 on there, now you would go on there once a week just to join another trade. So like one of the things we're going to do is like, we're going to partner up with some big streamers where like someone like Aiden Ross can be at dinner and just be like, oh, I need to pay for dinner. Let me swipe on a trade. And then by the time dinner's done, he just paid for dinner. So it's like stuff like that where it's like, we're not even marketing it as like, here's a crypto trading app. It's just like, here's a fun way to make money. Like we're not even highlighting it's crypto. It's just, here's the trade and I can click it. So again, we figured out how to get these top traders, but until we launch our exchange and make that experience seamless, then someone like yourself could use this on a daily, weekly basis. Like my 18-year-old sister, I'm just going to be like, here, put $200 and swipe and click join 5 times a day. And then it's a fun way for her to make money. So it's like, as of right now, we don't have that built in, but once we do, then we'll be able to like have a larger audience and have a higher retention because the everyday person can use it.
That's crazy. I like how it's super, you're not, because sometimes people hear crypto and they get scared or turned off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You make the messaging around it, like same with Hormozi's books. It's literally how to make money under the money model. It's super simple. It's 5th grade reading level. I love that in the messaging and the copy and the ads.
Yeah.
Zooming out and to kind of round things off, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered by changing what people desire. So I think like I would give this example. This is like 10, 20, 30 years down the line. If you're growing up obviously right now and let's just say you're 12, 13 years old and you see people that drive the nice cars, that have the nice watches, and you say like, oh my gosh, I want to be them one day because they have this freedom, they get to travel the world, and it's better than the 9-to-5 job. What's happening right now is there's this kind of backwards loop of what success looks like. So there's this philosopher, Rene Girard, and he came up with this thing called mimetic theory of desire, which pretty much says like, you can't desire what you don't see. So I feel like right now it's very materialistic driven on here's what success looks like. It's I am successful because of this watch. I am successful because of this car. And if you're 15 years old and you're like, oh my gosh, like I just hit my first $1 million. Well, what does everybody do? They go buy a watch. This is how I show you guys I'm successful. Now you hit 5 million users. Now what do you do? This is how I show I'm successful. I just bought the Porsche. So let's just say if you were 15 years old and all the people you're looking up to now, let's just say again, the Hormozis or whoever it is that have all this success. What if when they were showing their success, it was like, there are these flowers you could buy that don't die, and it's all about the beauty you have in your home. This is how my success is. I'm able to think so much more clear. I have these like unbelievable flowers and plants in my house, and like it helps me work and all these things. And like this one's 200 grand, this one's 500 grand. This is like, and then that's what success looks like. You go to the nicest homes and it's whatever the ones have the flowers. When you're 15 years old and you make your first $1,000,000, you're not buying a watch, you're not buying a car, you're buying a flower to put on your wall, because that's what success is. So I think for me, it's once you kind of have to have this outsized level of success, but it's to shift the focus of like success isn't how nice of a watch you can have or a car you can drive, but it's how many lives you can impact in a positive way. And if that's now the switch where like that's what people are posting about when they hit their first million or 5 million or whatever it is, then that kid that's 15 isn't thinking, man, I got to make $1,000,000 and buy the watch and post it. It's I'm going to make $1,000,000 and then post about how I'm impacting these people's lives. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing, like 5, 10 years down the line or 20 or whatever it is shift that focus, because it seems so like it's so like monkey see, monkey do. It's like if everyone thought watches were lame when you were 15 and successful people are like, why would you want to watch? Because who cares about your time? You would never buy a watch. You'd be like, I'm not going to do that. So to me, or even like if a car was like that, if a car was like, oh, who cares if you have a car? I want a driver. And then it's all about the beauty in your house. Like that's what you would care about. So I think to me, it's shifting that focus of understanding what success looks like and then showing that to the next generation when they come.
I want to let that marinate, dude. That was deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was really deep. A lot of people, especially in my space, the info consulting,
Yeah.
online make money, marketing space, they'll just flex,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I get for some people it's like a marketing thing. Um, you know what I mean? But it's
you're
also like,
attracting the wrong
yeah,
people.
yeah,
Also. It's like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And it's also like again, like if that whole shift happens, like if that entire shift happens, then it'll be like, man, this guy impacted 20,000 lives because he just made $20 million and did this. And then you're like, it still should do the same thing. Like at the end of the day, you're just trying to prove that you have success. So impacting a large amount of lives or people would do the same thing as posting the car.
Who's someone who's a good example of what you want it to be right now? Like who doesn't flex all that stuff, but who actually shows that?
Yeah, I mean Elon's probably the closest. Like he's not one that's like I mean he doesn't own a house. He doesn't really have any crazy cars, and for him it's just like what can I do for humanity? Um, but I think what needs to happen is like he is so hard to relate to for a lot of people because it's like, well, I'm not going to create a rocket company for $1 trillion,
Right.
right? So like a lot of people, there needs to be this like different level of like where people can relate to them that built an app or a website or something like that, even if it's like $1 billion company, but something a little more relatable. But I would say he's definitely the closest.
Got it. Got it. And
Yeah.
last but not least, what's the biggest or what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Mm, best piece of advice I've ever received. Um, I mean, there's like technical stuff on how I'm building my company right now that probably is some of the best advice, but it's kind of not generalized. I would say I wouldn't really say this is like it's more just been like what I've been told from a lot of the books I've read and a lot of successful founders, but it's really just have a high pain tolerance and iterate really fast. That's the best. It's like no matter what you're doing, if it's any company, like if someone's iteration cycle is one every 2 weeks and yours is one every 2 days, what they get done in like 4 years, you'll get done in like 6 months. So yeah, so no matter what it is, just like fail really fast and constantly change what you're doing to make it better. That'd probably be the advice.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Where can people find
yeah,
you at? And how can people
yeah.
sign up for Invo?
Yeah, it's invoapp.com, and then we will have our exchange live soon for everyone to start mimicking trades. Yeah,
Let's
that's
go.
the
Thank you
place.
so much, brother. Appreciate you
Yeah,
being on.
awesome.